Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast of three brothers trying to figure it all out, with your hosts Brandon, Colin, and Aaron. This week, Brandon had a little bit of connectivity issues, so just imagine him as the big, friendly robot big brother, and you should be just fine. It's not the full time, but it does come and go. On this week's show, Magic Popcorn. Hello.
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 What's going on?
You know, I guess not really too much.
Cool.
All right.
Your internet sounds a little low right now.
Yeah, it just told me that, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Adventures.
And I just looked at the other window that was open.
Okay.
It's a very slow day,
It has.
so kind of like blah. So it's because of current global situations. The music teacher in the elementary school decided that instead of having one winter concert, we're gonna have two. So one of them was like weirdly grades 3rd and 5th, and then this one is 4th and 6th. I don't know why she did it that way. That seems really confusing. Anyway, that means that it's time for 2 hours of practice every day till the show day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is going to be 2 hours of practice every day from 1 to 3. Like 2:50 because we had to leave at 3. So they have practice every day. All right. So that's cool. Well, and I volunteered to keep all of it's only the kids in, so the band kids are not in choir because of the way our schedule is set up. It's kind of in 6th grade, it's either your band or you're in choir. Okay. And so there's like 20 kids in band that are not in the program. So our choices are take them to the auditorium with us and have them sit quietly for 2 hours in the bleachers, or I keep them in my classroom and we do activities. And being as that it is impossible for a 6th grader to be quiet, I had them in my classroom doing activities.
That's a scientific fact.
It's true. I told them that. I was like, your choices are go and remain silent for 2 hours or stay here with me. And they were like, yeah, we can't do that.
Right.
I was like, I know.
Why are you giving us that choice? That's not
I already knew. No, I told them because they're like, why are we staying here? I was like, these are the options. And they're like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Go sit and listen to the same song for 2 hours. They're like, no, don't.
No, not really.
Me, secretly, me neither. So, yeah. And the other teachers, they're like, yep, sure, that's fine, because they don't want to sit and watch them in the auditorium either. So,
sure,
I volunteer as tribute to do that.
Cool.
But it's fun. We do some like game. Yesterday we had a board game tournament, and today we did some STEM stuff. Tomorrow I found another one. I think I have all the things in my room already. So do some STEM stuff. So it's kind of fun.
Nice.
We can talk about some things and just hang out. Yeah. So it's kind of fun, but it's very exhausting because like the afternoon is just like takes forever to get over. And I can't teach history. It makes me sad. I'm like, no, history though. Wow.
Wait, why can't you?
Well, because that's during my history class time.
Oh,
so like that's the thing. Like that afternoon time is my history time when we teach history stuff. So they're all gone, so they can't leave.
I see.
I sent an angry email Monday morning to her. She had said for like a week weeks, maybe, that our practices are going to be from 1 to 3. I was like, okay, that's fine. I can deal with that. I have a plan now. Monday morning, I had an email from her that was like, yeah, so our practice schedule is Monday afternoon, 1 to 3, Tuesday morning from 8:30 to 10:30, and then Wednesday and Thursday from 1 to 3. And I was like, excuse me, what?
Ooh, but you said
It's like, since when is that the plan? I was like, oh no. So I fired off the most angry but still professional email I could muster. That was like, listen, my schedule is different from the rest of elementary school. Like, I understand that 6th grade has a very strict timetable, and I need more warning than a day.
Yeah,
for its disruption.
Yes.
And so you cannot tell me one day, because that now means that would mean, number one, half of that's through my plan time. So I have no plan time because I would have been doing that stuff.
Oh,
that's exciting. And that means I would have had one class that missed all of science, another class that missed a little bit of science, and a third class that had the whole science period. So what the heck am I supposed to do?
Oh, jeez. Throws you off a little
I could
bit.
figure out something if you gave me longer than a day.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so like,
right.
I was grumpy. I was really grumpy with her. I was like,
understandably.
Why are you doing this to me? Yeah, so it's fixed now because I think the math teacher's email was angrier than mine. And so all of a sudden it was back to the normal plan.
Like, hey!
And I think some other people sent in emails too, like, what are you talking about?
Well,
what are you changing this for right now?
Yeah. Make enough people angry, I guess.
So, yeah, it was just like, yo, my conclusion line was something like, listen, I understand that practice is important and we have to have it before your show. I need more warning than this. If that's what you're getting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So grumpy. So it's all right. Yeah, the principal fixed it back. So we did that. So I did some STEM activities today. Today was the build a boat out of aluminum foil and dump pennies in it until it sinks, right? Oh yeah. Everyone's favorite destructive testing. I love that so much. So we did. It was good. We had a good time. I think so.
Who won?
I mostly just like to watch the testing part.
What was the winning design?
They built this thing that looks like kind of like a porkle, so like a circle, right?
Yeah.
Left around, and theirs held 255 pennies, which was far and away the best design. I think the next, like, second place was like 80, maybe.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
that's quite different.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was good. And then there was two groups that were basically tied. But one of them, it was just starting to take on a little bit of water, but not sink yet.
Okay.
And the other group that they had tied with was full of like really, really nice kids. So I added one more penny. I was like, oh, look, they beat you. Oh. Sad. And they're all mad at being hateful. So I was like, guess what? You lost. Ha ha. Oh, look, there's held one extra penny. Take that. So that was just humorous for me. But other than that, it was good. Tomorrow I found one that I don't know where this list of supplies came from. It appears to be just a random assortment of things. But you give it to them and then you say, like, you have to build some sort of contraption to keep this tissue dry. And then left in the middle of that situation, and you have to put a Kleenex under it and then dump water on it and make it not get wet.
Oh.
I've never done that before, so we're gonna see how this goes.
Like it.
That's really the only rules. Make this not get wet. So boom. I don't know.
pretty straightforward.
We'll find out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll see. That's basically it. That's what I've been doing this week.
Neato.
What about you?
Oh, my week. I'm trying to think. What did I this week has been very weird. We got a lot of snow today. Like a lot.
Yeah, I saw that on your
We got
social
snow.
media, and I was like, "You guys got snow?"
Yeah. We had a shocking
We got a
amount
bit of snow.
No, we had so much that 2 days ago they're like, "Oh, it's all going north of us. Don't worry about it." And then yesterday at like noon, they said, "No, we're under a winter weather watch until or whatever the advanced one is. I never remember those. Until like warning maybe. It's like advisory.
Warning is like peril.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like that starting, from now until tomorrow at 8 p.m. And then I was like, what? And then like we went to bed last night and I checked the weather. No snow at 11:30. Woke up this morning. Everything's closed. There's no school. We've got like almost 3 inches of snow on the ground. So somewhere between midnight and 6 a.m. it all dumped on the ground. And I drove into work today. And at 7, a little after 7, all the roads were still completely covered. The trucks hadn't even been out blading. People were sliding all over the place. One of my coworkers ran her truck over a curb because she slid and skidded through, and it was kind of crazy.
Wow.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be 50 Saturday.
It was apparently last night at one point, and then this morning it was like still snowing. And it was pretty good. So on the way to work, here in town, it was like, okay, the roads aren't so bad. It's not bad. I got on the highway to go to school, and it was like, wait a minute, hold on, it's snowing a lot worse than I thought now. Like, oh dear, let's slow down a bit. This is a bit perilous. A little bit peril right now. Let's calm down.
Wee bit of peril. A little bit of peril.
It was so weird because in town, like I saw the trucks, the blade trucks. I saw them salting and doing all that stuff, and the roads are fine. When the highway headed south, was like, oh no, wait a minute.
Crazy.
Yeah, so it was all right, but we made it. It's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, it was a little more surprising than I thought it was going to be from when I first looked at the news. So no snow for Aaron. How sad. I'm sorry.
No, we got some frost, but like that's about it. Like there was absolutely nothing in the forecast that said anything of, oh hey, by the way, here's snow. It was just toodalooing along, and then oh by the way, here's snow. I got up this morning and Shelby's like, it snowed, and I was like, you what? Sorry. And then I stepped out and looked out the window, and I was like, well, I didn't know there's snow there. And so yeah, that was a very unique, but like it was a little bit on like a car, but that was about it. But it had a nice little thin white sheen, across some stuff, but nothing extravagant or oh wow, it's snow or anything like that. So
Colin stole it all. That's what happened.
Dead. Not expected. It was crazy. Yeah, we woke up. Kids were supposed to go into school today. We woke up and nope, no school anywhere. We were all involved in musicals and things like that through high school, I guess, in various.
Not all of us.
Not all. Didn't you ever play in the pit?
I don't think so.
You never did? Oh,
I thought you did for something.
No, I never did.
No,
I did it. Well, I did it in college. I did it in high school. I think I played too loudly for the pit. I think that Mr. Shannon was like, we need some subtlety, so not Brandon.
I'm Brandon A.
That doesn't sound right at all.
Yeah, I never did that.
Aaron was always on stage, though.
I didn't.
Well,
that's true.
Always. I kind of towards the
I was
latter half of my schooling career, it was like, I'm going to apply for this part. Oh, 12 other people are going to apply for it. Okay, cool. I guess I won't do it. So my senior year, I didn't do any plays like at all. And when I got to college, we didn't really like besides like our summer and winter kind of big band or choir events. But yeah, I never really did anything past like freshman year of high school or freshman and sophomore year, really, if I'm thinking about it. Because I didn't really like, oh, yeah, I'll do this, and then, oh no, people are gonna do this, or not gonna give you a chance to try it for it. Okay, no, it's fine. I'll do something else. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, I never got the major experience of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out and do this or play this part, or yeah, I never got that opportunity.
Out of the three of us, you are the only one that played Dancing Russian. So
that played what? Sorry.
Dancing Russian.
Hi, Sasha.
I barely did that. Like,
I believe
I
that was you. It was not me.
It was me, but I think that was more conscripted, Russian pun intended, of like, oh, Aaron, you're not doing anything. Here, you like plays, right? Here you go. Now you're in a play.
It's fine.
And that's kind of how I was.
What was the other one you were in? Weren't you a preacher and something else?
I was in Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And what else? Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And Fiddler on the Roof. And then I was in some weird like 8th grade plays. Like I did that. But they weren't musical. Oh, I did. We did like a summer play called The Fallen Saved. Fallen Saved. It wasn't it wasn't a musical. It was just like a summer play. And they're like, oh, we need to make it authentic. Let's not use any microphones or any.
What's like authentic Greek? What is that?
So we literally got up on stage and I had to like yell
project
for everything, and because I remember Dad went to it and he's like, son, that was terrible. I was like, yeah, I know, but I still got the book to that somewhere around here because it was kind of fun and unique and like, oh, this is quirky or whatever, but I was just like, oh yeah, no one really liked that play. And then
that's fine.
I think my senior year, they did like Pirates of Penzance or whatever. And
I
don't think what else. Like that's really about like all the plays that they did, like my school wise. They did Beauty and the Beast, which I tried out for Cogsworth, and like I got to like the first part of my song. They're like, all right, thanks, cool, appreciate it. I was like, oh, okay. And they give it to like someone else.
Oh no.
Okay. I see how this is. So yeah, I didn't do any other plays, or I think that was kind of about it. My senior year, I was like, I'm okay. I'll find something else magical to keep me invested in. But I think that's really about it for my play career, really.
Still more than me. That's important.
True.
I was 0.
Huh. I could have sworn you were in the pit because I played in the pit for musicals every year through high school. And really, really enjoyed it. You talk about totally different playing style and skill level like required from that.
I think that's why I think the playing style is the reason I was not in the pit.
It's just like I remember it's musicals and never like I remember the first time I sat down there like my freshman year and being like I didn't know a single page could have so many different key signatures. Oh no.
Yeah. Why are there so many flats on the page? What's happening?
Why is everything? Oh, why?
the keys that they play in, the musical notations written in for like singing musicals is bizarre.
It's terrifying.
It's not the normal, yeah, it's really strange key signature. The ones with like all the sharps. Just like, how many sharps? Yes.
Like they fell asleep while they were notating them on the page and just woke up and like, good, it's fine. Yeah. Move on. But my favorite part was I always liked when you get to the part where you had to vamp, whether they were like changing scenes in the background or whether they were, moving through some dialogue. And I don't know. I really enjoyed being in the pit, especially whenever they built the new auditorium and it had an actual pit where you could.
Yeah.
Right. You weren't just at the bottom of the stage. You were actually down in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Because I remember like when we were in what grade would have that been? Like elementary school, going to like the high school play of like the Piano Man or some other random high school play that they were doing that year. Like I remember going to those, and those were really fun.
Yeah.
And then just some stuff of like going to the Little Theater downtown Springfield. Was that the place?
Yeah.
And going to see some of those plays. That's kind of all that I remember going. Like there's someone from church that was in one of the plays down there, so we went and watched him. I don't remember who that was.
Huh.
I don't have any idea.
There was a guy that we went to church with, and he was a kind of a larger gentleman, and yeah, he was in the play. I have no idea what I'm talking about anymore. I'm so discombobulated today. I just remember going to the Little Theater for like some school events, and kind of about it. Like,
I played in the pit in college because we had we didn't have a very large band. We had a jazz band. That was it. So we did like we need some music and people.
Right.
Oh,
there they are.
All right. So they played some stuff in there. That's right. We did 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, and we did something else. I don't remember what the other thing was. That was a big one, though, that we did. That was it. Not a singing person, even still. Like, I just don't really enjoy it. It's not my thing. I mean, I can sing, sort of, but, like, I just don't like it. People I play like music with, like guitar stuff, they're like, you should sing the song. I'm like, no, I'm okay. I don't want to. And they're always like, oh no, everybody sings these songs, you should sing this one. Everyone else is singing, like, you don't sing any songs. I'm like, that's fine. I don't really want to.
That's by design.
Just gonna sit over here.
What don't you understand?
Yeah, that's the plan. I don't like it. Like, I don't
messing with the plan.
Yeah, like, it's not that I'm like necessarily bad. I wouldn't say I'm like great at it, but passable probably. But sure, it's not something I enjoy doing. So I'd rather not. I have other things to do. I don't know. I play guitar badly, but I don't want to sing. That's fine.
Well, you got to pick and choose what you're going to do and why. So makes sense. I think that's fine.
Yes, that's something for bullying me. Like, sing this verse. No, stop. Leave me alone.
No.
How about I not and we move on? Everyone will give it that one?
It's true. Yeah, I like that plan. Much better. It's very important.
Speaking of singing in musicals, neither of you responded to the YouTube clip that I sent you. I'm very upset by this.
No one responded to my YouTube clip of Godzilla versus Kong, but here we are.
Well, mine was sent first, and nobody responded to it. So I'm very sad.
But mine was cooler.
Did I look at it? Oh, that's right. That's because I opened it and went, why? And I closed it again.
Do you know?
That's what I did.
Do you know that that he actually made that. That's not somebody coming in beyond. Like he actually between 2000 and 2010, or like 2010, in the 2010 era, he released 2 heavy metal EPs, and then
I'm aware of that. I think I'd forgotten about it.
Yeah.
And then you sent me that, and I was like, oh, yeah.
And then I didn't know he did covers of Christmas music. So to our listeners, there'll be links in the show notes to this at obrotherpodcast.com.
Don't feel the need to listen to it. It's fine. Everything's fine.
You must listen. You must go to the link about Christopher Lee singing the little drummer boy in Silent Night heavy metal Christmas song.
Oh, jeez.
It's a thing.
It made me so happy.
It's
he recorded those when he was like 90. Okay, that's awesome.
I know, but still, like, man, that's a plan, I guess. I don't know.
That's sure something.
I was going to send something out. Yeah, it's yeah. I that reminded me, I was vaguely aware that he had done those. Right. I think I knew about it, like when he did it at the time, and was like, that's weird. And then just didn't think about it anymore. Until you said that.
It's not something you keep on top of mind at all times, obviously. But
yeah, I don't need Christopher Lee's metal album. Like, what? All right, well,
pretty awesome.
That did happen.
I don't have a metal album,
I guess. I mean, that's true. I guess I don't either. I also didn't play Dracula and Saruman, so all that's really just cooler than me. And
he played Dracula 9 times. 9.
Yeah.
And by his last one, he was so fed up with it and so ticked off at how bad the writing was, he refused to utter any of the script's lines and just hissed and yelled during the entire performance.
Wow.
I mean, if you're a classically trained thespian and they give you like trash like the 9th Dracula movie, you're gonna be like, no,
yeah,
I'm not doing that.
I know. So I went down a Christopher Lee rabbit hole after I listened to that.
Watching that Count Dooku fight with Yoda. And
no, because he held the world record for number of on-screen sword fights, like still does, ranging from when he was in black and white films all the way up to, yes, it includes his lightsaber battle with,
it should,
with Yoda.
Sword.
Just a weird world record to have.
Unfortunately, I guess that means you cannot count the wizard battle off with Gandalf in Lord of the Rings because they didn't have a sword.
No.
Should have given him a sword. Could have added to his list.
He had and staff.
Dang it. Peter Jackson. Why? Yeah, I know, which is not a sword, as you can clearly see by the word staff. It's not spelled the same as sword.
It starts off well. It starts off with the same letter, and then it's all downhill from there.
Goes downhill in a hurry.
Right. Interesting person. Right.
He's a cool guy. He was a cool guy. And it was, I did not know that he had a record for on-screen sword fights. That's very interesting. There you go. Peter, you could have helped him out. You could have given him another one. Man, so bad.
Sorry. Yeah, we'll write a strongly worded letter. Peter, we're coming for you. For any other atrocities, but also...
What about in the remember Hobbit movie, he fights off the race things when he comes to rescue Gandalf.
Oh.
They have swords. And he has a staff. I wonder if that one counts. Can we count that one? Because at least one of them has a sword.
Well, but I think he just
so it's kind of sword fighting. He's fighting a person with a sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the person he's fighting has a sword.
That's true.
It's a fight scene with swords. I think we should count that. Okay. I think we should make that.
Okay, well, I'll write your petition.
Not that I'm fairly certain at this point, since sword fighting is not just a thing that's in movies very much, I'm pretty sure this record is going to stand for eternity.
Right.
But I want to make sure it. And we don't have any
At least for their consideration.
Trying to usurp Christopher Lee in his record.
Yeah. Right. Well,
I think this is important. I think this.
Well, yeah, because not only because he did it so much because apparently when he was in prep school, he was on their like fencing team and he won a couple awards and was like really, really good. And so he just kept up with it and added, and when they needed it to do for films and stuff. And it makes sense too, because he's related to Charlemagne. And so, kind of all that wonderful, swashbuckling sword leadership stuff coming through, manifesting.
Okay.
No, he is. He's related to Charlemagne.
What? You should drop that at the middle of the conversation like it's not a big deal. He's related to the guy that was in charge of the Holy Roman Empire. Not a big deal, though. Everything's fine. You're like, oh, back up.
Through his mother's side, he's related to Charlemagne.
Rabbit hole hard. Yeah, you're not at the bottom yet. I don't think you're still falling, looking for the rabbit. That's where you are right now.
I know. I'm still a little to do. So much time. Anyway, we'll back off of Christopher Lee. There'll be links and
just reading all of Christopher Lee's Wikipedia page, just the whole thing front to back, and all the IMDb stuff. This is all I did. What'd you do today, Colin? I read every single piece of information I could about Christopher Lee.
Fine. Fine. It's for research for my work. Okay, it's fine.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah, for my podcasting work, right? It's I gotta do research,
educating people about the brilliant life of Christopher Lee.
Well, I'm learning. Learning is always good, right? Never a bad day to learn.
I mean, that's true. That's fair.
Well, and then Aaron sent the follow-up.
Oh dear,
not a follow-up really here, but Aaron, your trailer.
Yeah. So I've always liked. Well, okay, hold on, back up. So anytime Godzilla has been like in a movie or like one of like the animated series or something, I've always been a big fan of Godzilla, and I even liked was it 1999 or the 2000 Godzilla with like Matthew Broderick.
Oh no!
And so I like that one, which not so many people do. I get it, but this one had just it's kind of. Do you remember when like the movie Pacific Rim came out about the robots fighting and punching giant monsters? Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's there's a YouTube channel I watched, and it talked about like the honest movie trailers, and it talked about Pacific Rim, and a quote from it, even though it came out years ago, is like Pacific Rim, either the coolest dumb movie or the dumbest cool movie you've ever seen. And I feel that's what Godzilla is going to be kind of like, because it's just so, Godzilla, just because it's so ridiculous and it's just going to be so like over the top in everything that it does. It's Godzilla versus King Kong, so that makes me happy in every single form. It's just a kids movie that get to express like, oh man, Godzilla punching King Kong, like how cool is that? So I was excited. No one has to share my enthusiasm, which is fine. You're welcome to your wrong opinion of Godzilla, but that was just me. I was just there's only a few movies that have come out in the past X amount of years or whatever, and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna go see the movie, or oh man, I really want to see the movie. This movie is definitely one of those. Like I really want to see the movie, like either in theaters if they open up, or streaming. Like the example, like when Mulan came out to Disney Plus, I'm like, meh. Like I've seen it before. Like I know what happens. Spoilers. Um,
No Eddie Murphy. Who wants that?
Yeah, right. So this was just like I don't care like who wins. It's Godzilla fighting King Kong. Like I'm sold. So just I like that. That's all I need. We're good to go. And so that was my experience of just like I can watch this trailer again. I don't care. It's cool. It's Godzilla. So that was just my little few minutes of just excitement and out of the insane stress that work has caused in the past 2 weeks or whatever. It's just like, is that a trailer for Godzilla and King Kong? Heck yeah, I'm gonna watch it. So my inner kid came out. Sorry, I was just excited and ready to watch Godzilla. Breathe some fire in King Kong's face. Like, what's the big deal? Like, come on.
I mean, obviously,
yeah,
obviously that's true.
There's
now I think.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I have a follow up, so keep going on your thing.
Yeah. Oh, so there's only a few moments in film, to me, anyways, that have just like given me goosebumps, if that makes sense. And the scene in the first Godzilla where he's charging up his like main attack thing and like his tail like lights up but you can't see his body. Like that was like the few times I'm like, oh, I am how old was I? 25 when I watched it and I was like, oh, I was Godzilla. So,
yeah, that movie was pretty cool. I gotta say, I did like that one.
Yeah, like it has some like stupid parts, and there's a few things on like Reddit or something that I watched where it talks about the new movie, and then people are like, "Oh man, what is this one going to be like?" And everyone's talking about. It's like, well, I kind of hope that it's just like the humans realize what's wrong is that they just need to get out of Godzilla's movie. Like, what's the big deal with that? So that made me happy that other people share my excitement. I'm like, oh, but like, I don't care about these people's romance. I literally just want to see Godzilla fight like another dragon. Why is that so difficult to understand? Like, I don't get it. So.
Some people do have a hard time processing that information. Like, oh no, we have to have a love story. Like, this is a monster movie. Why?
What are these people doing in my monster movie? Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like the newer Jurassic Park movies, there's like the whole thing between that girl, like Chris Pratt or whatever. You're like, guys, this is a movie where dinosaurs eat stuff. Get out of the way. Move it. Get out of my way. You're in the way of the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You're ruining my dinosaurs destroying things movie.
Move over a little bit. I can't see the dinosaur.
Jurassic World. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Like, guys.
Yeah.
So this brings up a question. I don't know if you've heard this one. Stop me if this is from there. With the whole whatever, and movie theaters being a big casualty of that. A lot of people I hear are like, yeah, I don't care. I want to watch it at my house anyway. But I am of the opinion that certain movies require a giant viewing experience, right? Like they're made to be watched on an enormous screen. So by only seeing them at home, you're sort of lessening some cinema experiences, in my thought. Right? And plus, I don't know, I like going to the movie theater. I want to know your thoughts on this. Maybe curious.
Aaron, do you want to go?
So, Brandon, you broke up a little bit. So, say that one more time.
Well, I'm gonna. Brandon, you can say yes or no. The premise is some movies are. You believe some movies should be better seen in a movie theater, and you actually like to go to the movie theater. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
And movie theaters are a big casualty of the pandemic, and many people are saying, well, I'm just going to stay home and watch it on my couch with my TV. I like, that's better. And you're saying, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I like the experience of going to the movie theater. It's a thing I enjoy doing. Like, I don't know, a few years ago, before Shayna moved in with us, Susan and I were just like, at least once a month, we just decided we're just going to watch a movie. Doesn't really matter what it is. We're going to pick one. And it was really fun. There was like we saw lots of cool stuff, right? And it was just really fun to have that to look forward to go do that. The experience of seeing some of those movies in a large format, which they're meant to be viewed on, I think, is, I don't know, I like it better, right? There's something about watching a movie that even like not necessarily like some action movies obviously better. There are certain even where the gravity situation is enhanced by the visual experience. Like it's really loud, it's really big. You can see everything. It's just more immersive, I think, anyway. There are weird things like when we went and saw so we went and saw The Revenant, with Leonardo DiCaprio, where he gets eaten by a bear. Spoilers.
Of course.
And then we sat in front of this old couple. And oh my god, they just talked the whole time. The lady reminded me of like talking really loud.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, did you see that? Can you believe this? I'm like, the whole
What's her name?
time.
Deborah Nelson?
Right.
Sorry, what?
No, it was not. It was some random lady. But I seriously want to turn around and be like, yo, can you stop right now? But like, again, that even though it might have like tainted the movie for me at the moment, like the experience of that happening, looking back now, is really hilarious. And I laugh about it so much. It was so dumb. But like, that's something I enjoyed doing, right? Even though that lady almost ruined my life. It was now it's fun to think about, right?
Sure.
So I just kind of wanted your opinion on that. Like, what do you think about like the actual like the movie theater experience as a whole? Because I know that's one of the big casualties right now is that like, well, it might just never open again. I'm like, but the movie theater though.
So yeah, Aaron, you can answer first.
So, I mean, I don't know if I speak for all of us, but definitely growing up, movies was always kind of like our thing, especially with our grandma, with Mimi. And so, like, that aspect of it, of giving us, like, oh, I'm going to go spend time with Mimi this weekend. If I want, we're going to go see a movie. And then she picks, like, Lady Killers of all things. And we're like, well, I mean, not exactly what I was anticipating, but it was still fun of getting that experience of pulling up to Springfield 8 or the Palace or whatever, and getting that excitement of of experience that granted at the time no one had YouTube reviews weren't big at the time, and so nothing was really spoiled for you, and it kind of brought like a little neatness to it of like, well, I got to go to the bathroom now if I have to go, it's going to be at like an important part, and I can't miss this important part. So yeah, having that kind of little like, oh, do I got to go to the bathroom or do I not? Oh no, I don't know. To me, anyways, was always kind of like fun. Not having to like hold going to the bathroom, that was miserable, but just getting to experience, annoying people, which I think the last movie, like, especially when I was in college, it was like the Avenger movie, and there was a very large family that sat next to me, and they brought like their 90-year-old grandmother in, and they had to sit there and explain everything to her. And so granted, I went to the movies a lot by myself when I was in college. I went to go see Star Wars like by myself like 3 times, and so I've also had experiences where, especially going to the AMC in Stillwater with my friend Gerald Ralston, like just us, no one else, and just us like talking the whole time and just having that kind of mystery theater 2000 experience of making commentary during the whole movie. So that was fun, uh, and just having that like going to the movies is a unique experience, and some films like the guy that made Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan, like movies like that. Unfortunately, like he makes them for having to go to the movie. He believes the movie experience, like the best way to watch this movie is through the eyes of a the theater lens. Like it has to be a different experience. And so like some movies like that are unique and awesome, but there's some movies that I'm like I could have waited like a little bit, like not a big deal. But to me, movies like going to a movie theater is fun, and it's something that Shelby and myself love to do. Before all this, let's go see what's playing, and having to go out there and sit in line and pay $40 for a drink and popcorn, small size that is. And so to me, it was always a fun experience of something that I do hope in the future of getting to continue with. If we have kids down the road or something, of like put them in the car, let's go watch a movie, kind of vibe.
Yeah, I agree totally. Colin, what do you think?
Well, yeah, most of so full disclosure, I have not stepped foot in a movie theater since before Lillian was born, so I'm going on 6 years now.
Oy.
Yeah. And the last movie we saw was what was it? It was nope, it's gonna come to me. It was a Pixar movie. The Emotions one, whatever that one was.
You would, Colin. It's got all the different characters that act with people's different emotions.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Good movie. Great movie.
Yeah, the one with the thing. Yes, I know what you're talking about too.
Yeah. Anyway, and that so that one do we need to see it in the movie theater? No. It didn't require the big screen. Aaron, you made a really good point. Christopher Nolan specifically makes his movies for big screens. That's part of his directive when he's creating a scene, setting it up for the shot. He knows in his mind how it's going to be viewed. It's the same thing when people do the color correction and they do all of the processing to it. It's to fit on a movie theater screen. Now, a lot of that has changed in the processing and the way they do things, especially last year, trying to make them process right, colors and that kind of thing for an LCD, LED, or OLED screen these days. But yeah, I think that most movies for me, I'm perfectly happy sitting on my couch watching them on my TV. It would take a lot for a movie to draw me into a movie theater. And some of those I think are like those big war films or those big Odyssey style of films where the film itself is big. And so in my mind is, well, I need to go watch that on a movie theater because that's also big and it fits the story that they're trying to tell as well. So I'm more comfortable watching something on my couch. But definitely see that there are some films that if you want to get the best, because it's also not just, it's not just what's on the screen. it's also the sound design as that has advanced. And I forget what it is now. It's not Dolby Digital 5.1. That's way old these days. It's Dolby Digital Atmos or whatever it is, where it's, the modern movie theaters, the soundscape is also very, very encompassing of you, and it really is supposed to put you into the movie. So you also miss out on that whenever you stay at home as well.
Yeah, that's true. Inside Out, by the way, is the name of that movie.
Yes.
Hey,
good movie. Good movie.
There you go. I think Aaron touched on another important thing, is that like social aspect of the thing, right? Like having a shared experience either with, like me, so, or like sometimes we go with friends, right? Like a double date type thing, where we have a couple of friends that we go have to watch movies with. Like that social interaction, or when I was younger, like just a whole group of friends just going to the movie, or like Aaron said, with you guys and memes. But there's also kind of that fun like shared experience with just like complete strangers, especially in like really full movie theaters. Like there's something very interesting about that social interaction, and kind of like, I don't know, it's enjoyable. Where everybody at the same time is like gasping, where everyone like cheers at a part in a movie. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. And that's something that you definitely don't get at home. Like it kind of ramps up the emotional investment a little bit, It can make things like cooler. Because
I will
go ahead. I gotta think of the name of this movie.
Oh, no, go ahead and finish the thing, then I'll jump in.
Well, I was saying, I can't remember what the actual name of the movie is, but it's basically it might be the Into Thin Air movie, right? That was like 2015 or something. But that movie is epic in scope, in that it's extremely tragic.
Yeah.
So, sitting in a movie theater with a bunch of people and all kind of sharing in that emotion together is kind of like, it's a very strong experience where you're all being like, oh my God, what? Or gasping or whatever at like these terrible tragedies that you're watching are like, I don't know. It's really, it kind of heightens that on a certain level. You know what I mean?
That kind of goes into what I was going to say. Like I can't remember the movie. I had it all planned out. The Avengers movie. Not the end game. I guess it is the end game, where like, again, spoilers, like when like some of the superheroes die. I was in a packed theater when I watched that, and having that human response, because like you can sit there and if like you're watching a movie by yourself, it hits differently if it's like just you and like like that's it. Like it's just a different experience, because it's the same thing with comedies. Like watching something funny by yourself is different than when you're watching it like with other people. Like
true.
There's been times where I've watched the exact same comedy special on Netflix, like by myself, and then I can watch that same comedy special like with 2 or 3 other people, and it's 1,000 times funnier. Because
you're by yourself, you just kind of get the
But I just remember again, there's only very few movies that bring out like the true emotional impact. I'm sure if I saw Mr. Holland's Opus in the movie theaters, I would have been bawling at the end, which I still do in person now. So I mean, it's not really that much different, but but that emotional impact from that Avengers scene of like when Peter Parker, Spider-Man says, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel good," and like the whole wave of everybody in the movie theater going, "Ah!" like just dying inside. Because if I was by myself and I was like, "Me, no, Peter," but I just remember like some random lady next to me just like grabbed onto my arm and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" And I was like, "Don't cry. Must stay strong." This random lady that I've never met before must stay strong. So it just hits different to me, anyways. And I think that is just a complete like different experience. Now, again, like some of those, movies that people pump out that are cheaply made and are just there for some sort of cash grab, like those, and like whatever. But like, there's movies, 1917, 1914, the film that came out that was quote unquote one continuous shot. Like,
oh yeah,
the visual aspect of it, like, oh yeah, cool, whatever. If I saw that like at home on my own TV, we watched that in the Bartlesville movie theater, and there was like 4 other people. But even with it was like Shelby, myself, and like 4 other people, and even that, even with a small crowd like that, seeing it on a big screen to us was just like a completely different experience. It was a whole unique world of like, well, I can't. Now, if I watch it like at home, I can't have that same experience. It was like a once in a lifetime kind of thing, just because it was so cool and so mesmerizing and so emotional, just because of the scope of it.
The earthquake movie with The Rock and everything.
Yeah,
Not a great movie, just on its own. Like, but it's kind of like a fun disaster, and that's a weird contradiction of terms, obviously. But like a disaster movie, they're kind of like fun little romps. So you're like, oh man, oh my gosh, peril, right? But the visuals in that movie on the big screen, holy cannoli, they're so good. Like, I was surprised about. Like, I remember watching that movie and just being like surprised, like, whoa, that's really creative. Like the stuff they did, and it's really interesting. It's like, and it's all big and disastrous, but and then you watch it at home on like the movie channel or whatever. You're like, all right, yeah, it feels weird on this small screen. Like it doesn't have the same impact. Granted, part of that's I saw it already, and my first impression was like, oh, towering like escape, but like still, there's an aspect where like watching on the small screen is just not as impactful with that like harrowing moment of the whatever thing. It just makes it much less different than the giant screen where everything's like flying around. It's like, whoa, holy cow, that's awesome. Awesome looking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the Hobbit movie coming out, and they were like, and Peter Jackson was like, yeah, no, we're going to release all these in IMAX. I was immediately like, nope, that's why I'm watching them. That's the only place I'm going to see these movies is in IMAX. Yeah. Oh, my, it was worth it though. Oh, it was so good in that massive IMAX screen watching man, that once you see it on that scale, you watch it on your home TV, you're like, all right, still good, but yo, man, whenever they announced that, Susan and I were both like, no, we have to watch it. That's literally we don't be able to watch all of them.
Yeah, I mean, again, that is part of it, and I think depending on the director, and how I think that's I don't like, not usually a purist like this in many things, but when a creator designs something to be experienced in a certain way, I think it's really important to try and experience it so you get the full experience, right? Like when it's designed for a certain screen size, or when it's designed for a certain audio quality or time of day, or in an art gallery or with certain lighting, like I think that if you are like, some people are going to be motivated enough and should be motivated enough to experience it that way to get the full impact of what the person was trying to do with it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely valid, because it is at the end of the day an art form, right? Even like quote unquote, like the ones that end up not being good are the ones that you don't like. It was still an art form. And so like that year when Susan and I just went to the movies all the time, no matter what, we're all no, but it was still fun. And some of them had interesting aspects, or they were kind of cool. You know what I mean? And there was some that were like really good that I probably wouldn't have gone to see. Like the Johnny Depp mob movie, you know, where he plays like Whitey Bulger or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one necessarily a movie theater movie? Maybe not, but like I probably wouldn't have seen that movie any other way. And that might be one of Johnny Depp's best movies ever. Like it's really good. Like, like really good. So, you know, this is and plus it's the experience of we're gonna share some popcorn. You know what I mean? Like that kind of event, social aspect of it that is important and fun. You know, same with some of the movies that we go to with some of our friends. Like, you know, we went and saw I don't know, this is a long time ago now, but we went and saw that Monuments Men movie, you know, in the movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a wonderful movie? No, it is not. Was it fun to watch with my friend who is a history teacher, and like so we could be like, oh, that was cool, but you know, and then we had like lots to talk about afterward. An interaction thing is something else important, right? Which is why, listeners, pro tip: if you are currently single and if you can ever go to a movie again with somebody in the theater, what you have to do is you have to go to the movie first and then go out to eat on your date. Don't do it the other way around, right? Go to the movie first, because then you have some conversation starter and you can warm up that way, and it's less awkward, right? You have something to talk about, so the conversation like flows more, right? So you're not just sitting there staring at each other like, what do we talk about now, right? So there's your pro tip for all you
everybody, for those just listening,
aspiring daters out there.
This is the late night love hour with Brandon's recent dating tips.
That's right.
Call in for the show.
And if you are otherwise, right, spoken for, you can share that tip with your friend. I don't know if they don't know it already.
Spread the word.
From a long time ago. I'm sure everyone probably knows that. But in case you didn't, some free advice.
Yes. Go, Brandon's free dating tips. Brandon's free dating tip corner. Okay.
Yeah, it's important. You know, it's an important social thing, right? I don't know if that's still a thing anymore. I don't know if people do that. Because remember, I'm old now. So, like,
old.
Back in my day, that's how we had to go. That's how we went to courting, don't you know? So, like, we
not really talking to those Gen Xers or Gen Zers. Good job.
Yeah, man. Imparting that knowledge on the younger crowd.
On the youths.
On the youths. Welcome, youths. Not listening to this. It's fine. I know. It's okay.
So yes, see some movies in the theater.
Colin, we learned that Colin doesn't like movies. That's what we heard. Colin doesn't like movie theaters.
It was really sad. The kids had a weekend away with Megan's folks for several days, actually, a couple weekends ago, and we were like, "Oh, what are we gonna do? Maybe let's go see what's in the movie theater." And then Megan was like, "Could you even name one movie that is out right now?" And I was like, "No."
I mean, now's a bad time to throw that question out, right? Like,
yeah, pretty much.
I know,
because there haven't been movies out. Spoilerinos. No, there's like two, right?
Like,
Tenet came out in theaters, and I think the Wonder Woman movie.
So it was just like,
and eventually someday I hear Dune's going to come out. I don't know if that's true. Someday that movie's going to happen.
But, you know, she was just like, could you name one movie in the movie theaters right now that we could go see? And I was like, no. Actually, no. So anyway.
Our movie theaters they always do a retro night anyway, you know?
Yeah.
So they've been playing a lot of like old releases and
yes,
like classic stuff. And And that's a side note. If you have like a local movie theater that's like a little bit smaller, I don't know, not everybody has that, but ours does. And they pick some fantastic. And so one of them, when they first start, like they re-show, like every once in a while, they'll just like rescreen all the Harry Potter movies.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Yes.
You want to watch Harry Potter? You want to watch Harry Potter in the movie theater again? Bam. Like they'll like show 2 a day, like on a Tuesday. And like at the end of the month, you've seen them all again. Which is pretty bad. They did like Back to the Future, you know. They screened Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And so obviously we went to watch this movie. And that experience, sitting in that movie theater was packed. Like full. It was enormous. It was completely full. Except for like the front row, probably. Even then, they'd probably somebody down there. and the best part was you could tell what has happened is a whole bunch of people had brought some of their friends that had never seen before.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to sit. I was sitting in this completely full movie theater full of people who were 2 types of people. The people like me who are just quoting the whole entire movie and just like giggling uproariously to themselves and each other, right? And this other group of people going, "What the heck is going on right now?" It was so fun.
Oh,
especially the end. There was a lady who was just like, "Wait, what?" But those are fun because like normally the etiquette in the movie is like quiet, decorum, like a little bit of cheering if something exciting happens. But this was like uproarious, like everyone like hollering and like shouting out lines and laughing just like really loud. It was great. It was so like raucous and hilarious. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I'd always wanted to go. I have not yet, but I've always wanted to go to the Moxie in Springfield to see.
Oh yeah.
To see some of the smaller films because I don't know, they just don't get played a lot. I'm actually looking at our local movie theater here in town, and I'm going to read the names of these movies. I only know 2 of these, and I want to see if you guys know them. So, okay, the first one playing is Remember the Titans. Okay, so
the worst movie. I don't like that movie. Side note, I don't like that movie because
anyway, before
in high school,
Aaron's triggered.
anytime we had a sub, I've seen it 600,000 times. Anyway,
Aaron, take your blood pressure medication. It's fine. The next movie that's playing is called The Little Things. The next one is called And the Little Things.
That one sounds familiar.
The Little Things came out this year, 2021. Then
maybe that's why I heard of it. Then I've heard of it.
Our Friend.
Nope.
Is it 2021? It's got Dakota Johnson and Casey Affleck in it.
Whoa, Dakota Johnson.
The Little Things has, I don't know these people. Anyway, does that have Washington in it? Okay, anyway,
it's a pop pump song. Right?
Then there's The
little
Marksman.
Little thing. Yeah.
The Marksman.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Shooter. Never mind.
Then there's News of the World. Monster Hunter. The Cruise.
Oh yeah, that came out, didn't it?
There's The Crudes. There's there's The War with Grandpa, and Wonder Woman 1984. I have no idea. Other than Remember the Titans and Wonder Woman 1984, I have no idea what any of those other movies actually are. Crazy.
Well, maybe our theater is owned by the same chain because they're also playing Remember the Titans, which is really confusing, and I think they must be.
Oh man.
Or it's just popular. Yeah, some of those, I mean, a lot of them, the advertising hasn't been there this year because they're like, well, I mean,
why?
We're not going to sink money. We're not going to put a lot of money into advertising because a lot of people still can't go to the movies. So we're releasing because they were already being made.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And so they're just kind of like, well, we're just going to dump it. We got to throw it out there. We got to see what's up. We got to go that way. Yeah, we have the Marksman, the Crudes. I've heard of the Crudes because that's a sequel or a third one. Did you say News of the World? Do you have that one too?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
And I know, yeah, you're right. I know many of
that
these
appears to be a Western movie.
have, they are
Oh, that's the Tom Hanks one.
contractually obligated to put them in a movie theater, right, to meet certain requirements to be eligible for awards and that kind of thing. And you're right. They don't want to have to dump in, $20, $30, $50 million for advertising when nobody can see them.
We definitely have Back to the Future playing in ours.
We have old releases. We have Remember the Titans, The Emperor's New Groove. What? Smallfoot, which is it's a movie about Bigfoot, I guess. And then, or the Abominable Snowman, excuse me. And then the Lego Movie. Coming back. So there we go.
I really like Lego.
Huh. Yeah. Our movie.
So, yeah, I mean, again, it's a weird time because they have, like I said, they're just like, well, just release it, I guess, and see what happens.
Right. Our movie theater for a while to kind of stay afloat whenever they were like really, really locked down. You can now go in and like rent the entire theater, like showing to yourself for like $80. It's a little insane. But
that's cool.
I know, right? I don't think it's quite 80. I think it's a little more expensive than that, but it's still like,
so it's kind of sweet.
Anyway, for a while they were, you could buy, bagged popcorn, not just like little bags of popcorn, but like humongous, like trash bag size bags of theater popcorn for like $10.
Oh yeah, ours was doing that too. Similar, they were having like, it was just curbside like snack. They were just having their snack bar like outside, right? That's another. I know it's got a bad rap for being too expensive, but can we just talk about movie theater popcorn for just a second because it's brilliant.
How is it magical. So good? How is it so good?
I don't know. I think it's magic. I don't. It shouldn't be. It's just popcorn, man. What the heck? But it's so good. I don't know how they do it. I love it. I know it's so good.
Yeah. There's, I won't. When we'd go, we'd avoid all the other snacks, chocolates or sweets, but had to get a massive tub of popcorn and a drink. And that you were good for that. Go ahead.
If you were anything like me, you would get the gigantic Coke and then drink it all before, like, through the credits, and then have to see like 10 minutes within the movie, where like you miss 90% of what's going on. I thankfully, since I don't drink soda anymore, I have been, whenever movies were still going on, I was able to control that. But I mean, they have these little like cookie dough balls that are like so good, and they get me those and like little like tart ropes. Those get me every time. So
I've never been a big candy at the movie theater person, but I do love the popcorn, and we always get we used to get they had the combo where it's like 2 drinks and a popcorn, like the couple combo thing or whatever. We got that a lot and shared it. That's what we did a bunch. If we got popcorn at all, sometimes we would, sometimes we wouldn't, but we used to like that because that was a good one. Yes, I don't know why the popcorn's so good. I don't know why I love it so much.
Yeah, I'm right with you on that one. 100%.
I always I can't remember like which movie theater it is. I can never remember if it was Springfield 8 or the one that was on not Battlefield. The road that took you to Bass Pro Shop. What road was that?
Some say Campbell.
Campbell, yeah.
Some say it was Campbell, and there might have been 16 screens there. Maybe they might have called it. They might have called it Campbell 16.
That doesn't sound right.
We may never know.
I used to love going to that one for like big movies because they always had the line. Like once you got inside, you had to you get your ticket and then you like go and queue like inside, and they always have like the posters and like all the other stuff. And then there was the arcade over there in the corner. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
games and air hockey. Yeah, I just remember just going in there and just kind of sitting and or standing and waiting and not understanding movie time. But it says we the movie starts at 5 and it's 3:30. Why are we here so early? Kind of vibes, especially going with me.
Well, that's a good question.
But yeah, no, I just always loved that. How much fun that was. Again, just like, especially, what movie was it? It was like the third Star Wars movie, Return of the Sith. Yeah. I remember going to see
Revenge?
that, like Revenge of the Sith. There we go.
Yeah.
I remember going to see that opening night, like, and that one. I think that one was at Springfield 8. Like, I don't know why I keep popping Springfield 8 in my head, but that was the place where they attached the IMAX to. And I remember going to see that movie opening night, and there just being a line of people all around it, and people dressed up in costumes. And it was the first movie where like people clapped, which that was a completely different thing. Like when the opening credits happened, and people started to clap, so that was different for me. But again, it was still just one of those, whoa, this is what a movie experience is like. This is awesome. Blah, blah, blah. So that to me was really cool of getting to just be a part of that, be with other people who also share the same interests as I did. So to me, that was a fun, unique little unique experience that I've never got to experience again because I've never been to. I guess since I learned of how miserable waiting for a movie at like midnight was, especially when I was in high school or middle school. I can't remember when it came out. But I don't know if that's kind of deterred me of like, I want to wait for this movie again. I'm like, I'll see it, not exactly when it comes out, but I'll see it eventually.
Well, we've learned that some of us were involved in musicals. Christopher Lee does sword fights, and you should go see a movie in a movie theater when you're allowed to in your local cinema.
Yes, and only if it's safe. Don't be out there being dangerous. But I like it, and someday maybe I'll get to go back. Who knows?
Yeah. Someday we'll do a live movie review from the middle of a movie theater after we rent out.
I think that might not be possible.
Tune in.
Anyway.
Tune in.
Yeah, Colin can just rent out a theater for us. It's fine. It'll be okay.
Come on up. We'll sit each corner. We'll have long cords. We'll all just hold our own microphones and record and give our live commentary to a movie we've never seen.
A mystery science theater experience or just commentate.
Yes, experience.
The whole show. Perfect. Love it.
No, dear. Simulcast. We'll count down 3, 2, 1, and you can.
It's on my list. It's on my list to do to release a commentary to a movie. So we'll keep that in the plans.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll try to see if that can function.
Okay. It's on the list. Okay.
Love it.
All right.
Well, love you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.